And good morning. We got Emma here, the unique flower farmer from the Tough Outpost. She's going to be talking plants and other stuff today, and we'll get into it right after this. And we are back. You know, somebody pointed out that the 4 exclamation mark on our season 4 looks like 41. Somebody's like, "What? You've been doing this for 41 seasons?" I'm like,
yes.
It kind of feels that way sometimes.
Sometimes it feels like that.
4 years of waffly bliss.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's weird.
As long as you know it's Tuesday, which is my problem.
Yeah.
It's weird to think it all started in that strange human experiment.
You mean Will in the attic?
No, well, yeah.
It was in the basement.
Yeah,
first,
basement,
and then
yeah.
the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It started and on Zoom. We started this whole thing on Zoom during COVID because
Yeah.
we were bored and didn't have anything
Bored
else
and
to do.
yeah,
Bored. What's that?
Good morning,
Yeah,
Beth.
No kidding.
didn't last long though.
Beth's here. No, it didn't.
We found something to do.
That's what we do.
Let's make something to do.
Let's get together.
Yeah.
This is why you all
Here
are my
we are.
friends.
So
Yeah.
our friend Emma's here today. It's good to
Yay.
see her. It's good
It
for her to be
is.
back on the waffling.
It's good to be in public, you know. I don't know if anybody's noticed or cares, but I don't feel like I've been as present as I sometimes am.
I know that feeling. I've been in
noticed
hiding
that.
too. Yeah.
Well,
Mention it.
it's hard work, lots of it. One foot in front of the other.
Animals and plants, right?
Animals, plants, children.
Children, right?
Children,
They
gosh.
will ruin your life.
Turns out they're a
Just
lot.
kidding. They're amazing.
Turns out they take a lot of time.
Sometimes they grow up
So-
and become useful.
That's the
Like
thing.
that one?
Yeah, like
And
that one.
yeah, and I'm
He's pretty
discovering-
cool. That's pretty cool.
Like that one. With our producer, who I'm always going to refer to as our producer.
The producer, Mr.
The
Producer, to you.
producer.
Sounds officially official.
So y'all got any hot news this morning? I know all kinds of things. I've been looking forward to this for 10 days or
Well,
so.
I'm super excited. I want to just throw it out there that my wife's devotional got published this morning. So
Yay!
So, I shared it on
Exciting.
I shared it on Facebook. It's you can go to proverbs31.org and find it. I think they have an app that you can download, and every morning, it's mostly for ladies, I think. But so she's on their writing team now. They
Yeah.
recruited her.
Wow.
Congratulations, Miss Shelby. I always love it when Facebook allows me to see her work.
I always think all the writing I do, why have I not published something? I constantly write.
Shouldn't you do that over the summer? Can
I
that be a
mean,
goal?
He's relaxing over the summer. He's chilling out, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a brain break.
Is it already
I
written?
gotta have a. Well, I mean, I write all the time. I mean, I write thousands of words.
Well, if it's
every-
already written, then
Well,
just
yeah.
push yourself over the hump there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different context, but anyway. Well, yeah, it's hard to turn sermons into books, although they can. But anyway, my point is, I think I need to
See.
do something different for 2 months.
Spurgeon,
Completely
Yeah.
different.
worked for him.
Worked all right for him, but that's
Jonathan Edwards.
Spurgeon, Ballard. I don't know if they fit in the same.
History
sentence.
will tell.
Yeah, right.
History will tell.
Okay, Lauren,
You
the
got the
first
hair. You're working on
The
Spurgeon hair. Yeah, get the beard and you'll
But you
have
get
it.
that was low, man. That was low. But remember, sabbatical, I'm not shaving.
That's right. We'll see what happens.
I
And
can't wait.
it probably won't look much different. Patch here and a patch there.
Hey,
Okay.
the older you get, the easier it becomes.
I don't
I'm
know,
telling you.
man.
Well,
I just don't
worse
know.
was for me.
We'll see. We'll see what
All right,
happens.
Lauren, I think the first topic of the day was writing, but it might be facial hair. So do you want to weigh in on either one of those?
You know, as ladies get older, we have problems with that as well. So
I've got no comment.
Different problems.
Speaking of growing things,
Hey, yeah.
Wow, nice.
Good. That is
Nice
why they keep you on the
segue.
show.
oh, that was classic.
Okay, so first, I mean, I wouldn't be your local farmer, and I couldn't come out in public without talking a little bit about food, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
I like
first
food.
of
Give me
all,
dill,
I forgot them, and that is the only thing I did not make it into town with. I was going to bring the dill snack sticks for Will and Chris because they're Chris's favorite.
He loves them.
They are pretty neat, and we do still have them. So
I've purchased them.
so
I
anyway,
have not had one since, but I can still taste it.
Surprise dill attack.
food PSA.
Good.
Food PSA for today. So, have you all heard about the highly pathogenic avian influenza?
I have heard a little bit
Have you
about
heard? Okay,
this.
shorten
Yes.
that to bird flu.
I was gonna say, yeah.
All right. So the source of bird flu is
China? Oh,
possibly Chinese wild birds. It's been impacting poultry producers and that sector of the agriculture industry for quite a while now. Well, just here in relatively recently, they have found it in dairy cattle.
Uh-oh.
Bird
Okay.
flu in the cows.
We don't need
Yes.
that.
So
These cows
it's
that are identifying as birds. Or
no, this is, you got wild birds and they do their business everywhere.
No.
And they're coming into contact with the dairy cattle, and somehow that's getting ingested. Okay, so
Typical cow.
first thing to know, all right,
Cows are always the first to go.
if
life.
a cow, a milking cow, is sick in any way, shape, or form, the milk that she produces is discarded. It never gets close to the food system.
For sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's important to remember. So here's the hot news. Just the other day, there was an article published that said that some researching entity had detected the bird flu in pasteurized milk. Okay?
Okay.
They're going to continue to repeat that, I'm sure.
That's
Okay?
concerning.
All right, I'm
It
freaking out.
could be.
When
No,
cows fly.
stop freaking out. No food
We'll get to
fear.
the good news.
When
Here we go.
cows
So
fly.
listen,
Fly nice.
I like the joke.
here's the
Love it.
here is the thing. They detected it. All right? They detected it. So is that 1 part per 6 million, or is that 10 million parts per one?
Yeah.
They did not say that. I would wager more on the first. Okay, when you go across your face, there
I
is
don't
more,
ever do
I do that often.
there is more germs, right? Possibly on your hand than there is in pasteurized milk.
I'm going to guess I come across bird dew as well.
Possibly.
in my
So
daily
just
life.
okay. Your local farmer. I was raised milking cows. My uncle still milks cows. Today we buy our milk in the grocery store out of convenience. The milk you're getting at the grocery store is safe. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you,
to
Emma.
know.
Don't let the scary headlines run you off.
Well, catastrophizing is a real thing.
It is, boy.
Well,
That's my
Real
food
thing. It's
PSA
a
for today.
prevalent thing.
Never waste a good catastrophe.
I appreciate you pointing that out because often we hear these sound bites in terror, and people start looking for other sources of things.
You better believe
I
it.
thought
Well,
mad cow disease was going to be a much bigger deal than it turned out to be.
I did too.
I think they contained that to the talk shows is where that was really happening.
Well, the problem is, as you say, it's spilled out, then it gets shared all over, as we're all on social media, and the next thing you know, it's a thing. But it's
Well,
not a
and
thing.
it's
It was never a
never
thing.
a very concise statement. It's
Right.
usually a very generalized statement that is just allowed to hang there.
Well, there's always a thing that we're dealing with, right? There's always
Yeah.
something out there that, has reared its ugly head, and it's fine. That's life.
And when
right?
you're talking about your food system, American farmers and ranchers have very strict rules and guidelines for healthiness and cleanliness, and
Yes.
there's things we cannot do. And the point is to keep our food supply safe.
I just think it's handy that, if we needed food, I mean, I know people like I can go to. I mean, we could, I within my circle of people,
Yeah.
I looked in the face, we could get all the food we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because Emma's here.
Yeah.
right.
That's why
Because we're here.
That's why Emma's our friend.
Yeah, that's right, because we're here.
Because if it ever goes down,
Well, I mean, I think that the people will tell you that like New York has about a 2-day food supply,
yeah.
and they're on an island.
Yeah.
So there's that goes real south real fast.
We're gonna be okay.
Beth
Yeah,
makes a
we're
good
fine.
point. What's the government doing while we're concentrated on this subject?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a whole
Look
lot
over
of
there.
smoke
Look
and
over
mirrors.
there because there's
Look
a thing
over
over
here.
there.
Speaking of
Beth,
food,
Beth, you are on it today. I just
Yes.
want to say that. I'm
You-
only disappointed I didn't come up with the "When Cows Fly" line. That was perfect.
you know what else we can do? We can grow our own food in the garden because it's gardening time here in the Ozarks.
Talk to me.
It is April the 30th, so let's celebrate the last day of National Gardening Month.
So help me because I'm behind. I prepared.
You are not behind.
Well, I feel
You are
behind.
not. You can
behind
feel.
my original plan.
Well, now.
So my bed is prepared and has been for a month, and I've got 2 tomato plants in it. That's all I've got so far. So, what?
How's that working out for you?
Well, I'm going to be hungry.
Yeah.
during the
No,
in the
you'll
summer.
be fine.
Yeah. So I need to get some things in the ground, right? What am I not too late to plant?
You are not too late to plant anything.
Okay,
Thanks
talk
for
to me.
being. You are
I'm being vulnerable.
Ballard
here.
is
I'm
being-
I'm
he's
a new
like-
gardener.
representing the major populace.
right.
Okay, we had 3 nice days in February, and everybody thinks they're behind on their garden.
Right.
It's just not true. Okay, it is April the 30th. It is not safe to plant generally until Mother's Day.
I wanted to get some
Oh,
strawberries in the ground, and I felt like
ahead.
that needed to happen sooner. Am I too late?
No, you're not too late because they are still available at the Garden Outpost.
Okay, I will
so
be
you can
there.
do that.
You can
Be there
go
today.
see Emma and get your
Here's the
plants
thing:
today.
the soil temperature is not warm, guys.
What is
chilly
it?
down
Where are we
there.
at? Like 56?
Well, I don't keep a thermometer
chilly
out
down there.
there.
62?
But the ground is not warm. So you stuck your poor tomato plants in the ground,
they're
and
cold. They're
it's
chilly.
like their feet are in buckets of ice water.
But I just did it
How
last
dare
week, so
you.
probably not.
That's
Yeah,
that's
still.
one of the things-
Yeah.
Cold? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
know.
That's fair.
Okay, so don't rush it. Don't
Okay.
hurry because
Okay.
you take your,
I
if you
planted-
took your cucumbers home last week and put them out in the garden, then the rain beat them to death.
Dog-
I
Plant,
planted
pray.
2 fruit trees 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and I think like deer ate the leaves off of them
very
Oh, yeah,
possibly.
sure they did.
because they're
You know-
looking
Hungry.
They're looking like sticks.
If you plant these things that love the warm temperatures a little early, are they going to die? Not necessarily,
Probably went too soon.
but
Are
they're
they
just
living their best life?
they're not
Maybe
living their
not.
best life, and they're just sitting there.
My frankenfruit tree
They're
is
just
doing
sitting
good.
there.
I'm
though.
already feeling better about myself.
There you
It's
go.
okay.
All
People
right.
do it all the time, but just slow your roll. Wait for it
This is
to.
the time.
There
I've
you
waited
go.
for the opportune
Got
moment.
that?
Is what you're.
Slow
Yeah,
your
yeah.
roll.
You haven't
Okay.
missed anything yet.
All right.
Okay, I brought lots of
I was
fun.
gonna say, I wanna start handing
visual
you things.
aids.
Let's see what
So, I don't know how to put that since I've planned to be on the end.
No, I took the end. What do you want?
So-
I know all
She's
this
got to
stuff.
bail. So
So I didn't bring the dill snack sticks for the boys, which I intended to, but I did bring something for Lauren.
A dill plant.
No, no dill plant.
What's the dill?
So it's like the second one there, Lauren.
This one?
Yeah, right there. Okay, Lauren had showed interest in the passion flower
My
plant.
passion flower.
So this is Lauren's passion flower.
it's okay.
Put
We'll
that in
clean
my
up
coffee.
at the end. Nutrients.
All right, so out with National Gardening Month and in with May, right? Lots
It's
of
gonna be May.
it's
Sorry.
May. We're gonna plant. It's Is it Teacher Appreciation Week?
No.
Right.
Next
This-
week.
This week. Next week.
Next week.
Okay. So at the Garden Outpost, we have fantastic teacher appreciation gifts. Okay. Teachers don't want another mug. They don't need a pencil.
They want a passion plant.
They want a living
Flower
thing that doesn't talk back to them. Is what they want.
But
Yeah,
gives
that's
you-
valid.
And
but
we
gives you
have that.
oxygen.
That's it.
That's right. So we have those things. And then Mother's Day is the big one, right? And we're super excited to have everybody come out for Mother's Day, get your bedding plants and your tomatoes, and we'll take care of them till then and get all excited about the gardening. So if you didn't know, the Garden Outpost is where local successful gardeners shop.
I totally
I
agree.
knew that.
I've seen.
And that's why I shop there, because I want to be in that group.
Yes.
That's right. So
Local and successful.
it's very important to me, and I have trained my teammates, Olivia and Alex, who are also great. So if you ever see them there, they're a wealth of knowledge. They're super wonderful. We keep
Alex the Great and who?
Olivia.
Olivia.
Yeah, and little Della. Little Della's there this season. She's
I'll
brand
start moving
new.
this in so everybody can see more.
Can we get it in?
We keep
right in
things
front of
that
your
are
face.
successful in Ozark Gardens. Now we also
important.
It is. We also keep other pretty things, right? So you're going to find some one and done amazing things because sometimes you just need a gift that says wow. But we try to focus
What is
on items that are going to be successful here in the Ozarks.
There we go. That works good.
What's that called?
Oh, that's a gomphrena. We'll get there.
Okay.
So for things that are successful, let's talk natives. Okay, Lauren is a great fan of the natives.
I'm a native enthusiast.
How is your native gardening going?
My
Lauren?
native gardening is many of my plants are on year 3, which means that they have fully established themselves. And I'm not going to lie, it's a jungle out there.
Look at you.
It can
Welcome
be.
to the jungle.
Yeah,
It can be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yes, it is good in a good way. And I mean, they're. And do you want me to talk about why I like natives?
Yes, I would love.
I like natives because they are relatively easy to care for in the great state of Missouri because they're used to our soil and they're used to our weather conditions, and it's really hard to kill them. And I'm not a great vegetable gardener. In fact, I'm terrible at it. But I can do like herbs and I can do natives and flowers. So that's why I'm a big native person. And it attracts pollinators and all kinds of good stuff to your yard.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so the natives are in the square pots. Can we line the
Oh
square
yeah.
pots
Oh
up?
yeah. I recognize all these guys.
Yep.
Keep them out of my coffee this time.
No, we'll dabble
A little dirt in your coffee.
Yeah, I've already got
So
some.
just
It never hurt anybody. Watch out, this one's prickly.
Ooh, little prickly
I
pear.
don't have one of those.
pear.
either.
isn't that awesome? It's so much fun.
So
got
this
one
this
more.
can grow here, not
Yes.
this is
That is
okay.
a Missouri native. Is that not awesome?
Did you ever step on one of those as a kid?
No,
I'm sure-
I did
sure
not
I-
know anything about that plant
In
Probably
until.
the
did.
Rocky Bluffs of Texas County.
Yep.
Yep, I
We got
believe
a
that.
prickly pear.
Okay, so
Missouri cactus.
Lauren's passion flower there. I've never seen one of
Oh,
those
mine.
like in all of its glory, but it's very unique. It doesn't look like much right now. Okay, so this one over here, Chris, can you point to that one? Yes, this one.
Good call,
Okay,
Dana.
so that is a cone flower, and that is more indicative of natives in their early stages. Okay, the thing with natives is they're not going to be very showy most of the time.
They're a little sassy.
And that's what people they want, or they have wanted in the past, is they want something that looks good all the time. Well, let me tell you, folks, it doesn't happen.
Did you look good all the
The
time?
thing is, I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Chris
I
looks
want
good
to
all
look
the
good
time.
all the time.
The
but
only
it's-
thing that looks good all the time is Chris, okay? There's just times, and I used to have people that are like, my garden just doesn't have any
wow.
pop. And I'm like, it's August the 5th.
But
I'm
the-
sorry.
I don't
the
have
beauty
any
of the
pop
native,
on
though,
August
is
the
that
5th.
Browns.
You can plant these and it's easier to maintain, right? Because they want to be here. They
Yes,
belong
they
here.
want
happy.
to
So
be
it's-
here.
It's easier to maintain.
When the conditions are harder, you're going to see them thrive while everything else, wilts over. So sometimes they don't look very flashy. Sometimes they're very unique, like this cactus. Like Lauren has obviously experienced this in her childhood as well. I didn't know that would grow here till I was an adult.
Like I said, Rocky Bluffs of Texas County. You
But
got
isn't
those.
that, it's just a little unique. Now, I brought this one because just the other day, Lauren, if you're friends with Lauren on Facebook, she shared her columbine, which she's had 3 years, you said?
I think, honestly, that columbine was planted last year. That's what I
Possibly.
think happened.
And I wish we could drop photos into the comments because she had that photo of how it looks now.
It's on Emma's page. I think I shared it on your page.
This is how it started.
Yep.
Okay? And by and large, is this amazing when compared to that pink thing over there? No, But it's really doing well for Lauren.
It's massive this year. Like, it came up. It was one of the first things to bloom. It's I don't even know, like 10 times the size it was when I planted it. And
Yeah.
it was and I planted it in get this, I planted it in this isn't going to work, about this big of a soil area between a concrete patio and a privacy fence
Huh.
that gets,
So the fence is like the trellis then?
well, that one doesn't need a trellis.
It
That
doesn't.
one supports
Okay.
itself.
Oh, it
Yeah.
looks like
But
it would need one. Okay.
the fence, I mean, it kind of got knocked over in the rain, but we all did.
Yeah.
So it's literally in a gap of soil less than a foot wide, and it is in mostly shade, and I just stuck it in the ground, and it's happy as a clam there. So if you have a shady spot where you need something, right there.
That's right. So natives like our soils. They've adapted to our conditions. They're going to self-seed themselves. Mm-hmm. So if you got one, you're going to get a patch later, and then you don't have to worry about going out and getting another start or something like that. A lot of times they'll send up lots of babies, and then you can transplant. So they have huge value.
Yeah, I had some surprise columbines too.
Yep. The biggest
friends.
struggle is they're kind of gangly. They don't look good all the time.
I was getting ready to say, if I'm out weed eating and I didn't see the flowers here, I'm looking at this.
Men folk are going to weed eat them
yeah,
down.
I'm going to trim that away.
It's not the manicured look from
Better Homes and Gardens.
Better Homes and Gardens that we've been watching for the last 20, 15 years, right?
And maybe that's
So-
not good. Maybe that
Yeah.
maybe that manicured
Yeah,
yard isn't.
That's the mentality, though, that got us Bradford pears all over the
Yes,
state.
it is.
True
So-
story.
You are correct, sir.
See, you know more than you think. Hey, let's
I
talk
pay attention.
tomatoes.
Oh, it's
That'd be-
tomato season.
Yeah, so
Can I-
let's.
how much is this? I just want to buy this from you. I need one of these.
Would you rather have this than the dill stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, you want to? Let's put the natives over there back.
Oh
in the
yeah,
box.
well I'll move them back in their home.
Is that
Hey, Lauren,
is that
I don't
dill
want
in that teapot?
I don't want
Is
to run
that-
you off, but you said you needed.
I'm
to,
watching. I'll go for
Okay.
about 4 more minutes,
Okay.
then I got to skedaddle.
And that one's Lauren's. Don't
This one?
forget. Yep,
Take that with you.
I'm taking that with me.
you are.
Hot diggity dog. Thank you,
Okay,
friend.
and this one.
That's
okay.
exciting.
Here.
Oh,
This one.
sorry.
Move that
Sorry.
over.
Okay,
I started looking at the tomato and
I
got
know.
excited.
So Chris is very excited about the tomato
Well,
plant.
I did 3 of those last year. I only want 1 this year because I produced so many.
Yeah. Did you do the Sweet 100?
Yeah.
And did you like them?
Yeah, Shayna loved them.
Yeah.
The problem was she's the only one that just kind of eats them as a snack. and
Uh-huh.
So we just had so many.
There you go.
So I'm going to focus on more
the
of
Sweet
like,
100 is for real.
yeah, I'm going to do more like cooking tomatoes, like Roma.
yeah.
Can I tell you something I did with cherry tomatoes over the weekend?
What'd you do?
Shallow dish, cherry tomatoes, piece of feta cheese, olive oil, salt, pepper, baked it, and then broiled it.
Baked
Ate
it.
it on
Wow.
bread. Incredible.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's a
Cool
Shayna
beans.
meal right there.
It was amazing.
Okay.
like a bruschetta.
It's like a
Brus-
it's like a bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
A bruschetta.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I don't think you bake that.
You got to do it.
I don't know.
You got to do this.
bruschetta.
so you might get your tomato plants from the Garden Outpost, and they may look like this. And especially in the case of a larger tomato variety, like your Big Boy, Better Boy, Beef Master, if you're doing the slicers, okay, something that you're going to want to do when you take your plants home is,
Pinch 'em off?
yep, pinch all these
So
off
would
down
you go
here.
To like here?
Yeah,
This is informative.
yipe,
Because those will become roots under the ground, right?
they will. Now,
Roots.
even if there's not leaves down here, when you take this home, you can plant it clear up to here in the soil line.
No joke.
All right, and you can kind of see right here where it's coming out some white
Yep.
furries.
I seriously didn't
But
know
yeah,
that.
that's
They
gonna
want depth.
yeah, and that's cold down there.
Cold.
So don't plant them too early because the deeper you go, the colder it is down
I'm
there.
just saying, I did April 18th last year. And
Okay.
I killed it.
Our
with the tomato.
producer is killing it right now, by the way.
He's working hard. He's working hard.
Look at him
On the
go.
switcher back there.
Play.
Just
But
switching.
yeah, I mean, think about it.
Focusing.
When you get to July and August and things are like, "Nyeh," right? And we're wishing it would rain, unlike this last week.
Well, garnish in my.
The
coffee.
more roots that this tomato plant has, the better, it's going to be better prepared for those times of year. And it's still going to have access to moisture, and your whole plant's not going to come derailed. Your garden's not going to come unglued because it's going to be better rooted. Roots are good.
Roots.
Okay. Now, as this grows,
They're our friend.
you can kind of see right here, there's one starting.
Yeah, just
Kind of these little axillary things. Pinch those off out of these crutches, too, especially on your big tomatoes, because
just wasting energy, right?
it's wasting energy. So that you're
Very
gonna,
interesting.
if there's less branches, then it can put more into creating.
Do you want red or do you
fruit.
want green? You know what I'm saying? You got to get that green out, and get more red in.
Oh,
right?
oh.
I
But
thought you were
it's-
talking green tomatoes.
It's no, it's producing. The energy's going to that.
That's
and
right.
It doesn't need it, but you want it to go to the fruit, right? So
yes.
But you could take too much off, and then you would.
You could.
Yeah, I learned
You
like,
so
could.
much
like
last
one
year.
ginormous tomato.
Yeah, you don't want it to look like a tree,
Yeah.
but you definitely need to keep some of those extras off, and you're going to get a better producer that way.
Just remember, Emma, some of us have a tendency to go overboard.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to moderate what you tell us.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you guys with it. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Lauren. I'll miss you.
Look at this.
Have fun storming
fun.
the castle.
let me set this over.
So, yep. Okay, we want to do.
It's awesome.
I love that.
Do we want to do gifts, or we want to talk about more things that work?
Since I got a gift in my hand, let's
Yeah.
go ahead and
What about
just
you?
Can you
make-
reach the pink thing?
Happy Mother's Day.
That's right. So I mentioned that National Gardening Month is just about over. Today's the last day, and this month, May, will be Teacher Appreciation and Mother's Day. And this is the caliber of gifts that you can I'll keep it together there for the guy. Sorry, guy.
Moving it. It's like, move it.
These are the caliber of gifts and more that you can expect to find at the Garden Outpost. You know, here's an example. This hydrangea is beautiful, and it's totally set off by that can, which is also available. Wonderful gift item. If you want to go a little more practical and a little more, all together, we got this darling watering can that has lavender on the sides. It happens to have a lavender plant inside of
I
it.
thought that was lavender.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly
And,
lavender.
you know,
I don't know. I don't know
complimentary Happy Mother's Day stick in there. We will have all kinds of fun
very
things
nice.
come Mother's Day weekend.
nice.
In fact, we often do a few extra bonus hours on
Yep.
Mother's Day weekend,
I'll bet you
especially
do.
Sunday morning
Yep.
for the procrastinators.
We're not going to say which
It's like you're sitting
gender
in,
that's
you're
for.
sitting in service, and the pastor announces it's Mother's Day.
Oh, we're going by the Garden Outpost on the way.
Garden
Hey,
Outpost
the
on
good
way
news
home.
is I have a gift for you. The bad news is we got to stop.
You got to
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
it out. That's right.
On the way home.
So yeah, cool gifts. I mean, we got that stuff. So let's talk about more things
All
that
right,
work.
what we got here?
We got a few packets
I
over
like
there.
these. What are these called?
Those are begonias.
Begonias.
Begonia.
Yeah. I've always liked those.
Okay. Now,
Switch it out here.
besides babysitting your gardening plants, like your vegetable gardening plants, we have tomatoes, peppers. I have a few onions even this year.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Should have left that in the box.
What else? I've got eggplant. We still got broccoli, cauliflower,
so
cabbage,
you're telling me
cucumbers,
I can still put broccoli. I can still put
okra.
broccoli in the ground.
Yeah, now that you ought to get on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. So I wasn't completely wrong.
And you can
Some
leave
of
it
those-
there. So
Yeah.
I love broccoli.
Do ya?
I had broccoli
It's
for
really-
lunch and
it's
dinner last night.
actually, it's grown on me.
It
It is
is
my
so-
favorite of all.
All
the
puns
veggies.
intended.
It's so
I've decided that I will
tasty.
always, from now on, intend my puns.
You might as well. Everybody
Take
loves it.
ownership of them.
But don't you love a good accidental pun every once in a
I
while?
do, but I'm just going to claim it. Like
All
I
right,
meant
like I did it,
Like
yeah.
it was on purpose.
I give you credit all the time. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not used
We're
to
just
being.
gonna leave those there. They're
Okay, so we've got begonias here. Okay, we're talking about these are annual plants. You have to plant them every year. Look at the color, right? Lots of color on these guys. With your perennials, you're going to get one amazing bloom. The rest of the year, it's kind of maintenance. If you want all year color, the best thing to do is to tap into some little annuals that are going to brighten the little corners and crevices of your garden. And I like to keep things that perform, that do well. Begonias are one of those. Not only is this really cool because of the contrast with the dark leaf, these are self-cleaning. You don't have to pinch them. They just kind of slough off, or you can, blow them gently with the leaf blower. That sounds like something you guys would like.
I love it.
Anything.
And-
I like to use the leaf blower on my grill.
Yeah, and they just
Any reason
bloom
to
and bloom
fire
and
it up.
bloom. All right, this has been, nobody much knows what this is, but it's a great plant. This is Gomphrena. It's got these little balls on top. Honeybees love them, right? So you're doing nature a favor with these guys. They happen to look amazing with these yellow flowers, which are zinnias, also good.
Zinnias.
Yeah, also good with for pollinators. And these guys like it hot.
So you used a couple of words that I want you to clarify for
Yes.
me and anybody else. You said annuals and you said perennials.
'Kay.
What's the difference?
Annuals. Annuals are plants that we must plant annually.
Oh, see, I was
Every
going the other way
year.
with that. I was thinking they come back
Should
annually.
come back every.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I always get that
Perennial.
confused in my mind. I have
So
to think it through.
longevity, perennial, so they're going to stay and they're going to come back
Only
for you.
slightly more different than left and right. Like
A little bit.
Which one is it?
And sometimes our plants that work do multiple duties. So not only do marigolds, very famous staple in Southwest Missouri, right? Not only do they have great color all season, they ward off
I was
bugs.
going to ask about that.
Yeah, from your tomatoes.
So that's legit. So if
Yes,
I put some
totally.
of those around the garden, it's actually helping.
Yes,
And then
repel
I'm-
mosquitoes. You can, plant them around the porch. I shared the other day on the Garden Outpost Facebook page a little placard of things that help repel mosquitoes through the year.
Brilliant.
And we have
love
most
that.
of them.
Now help me though, because I tend to be one of those. If a little is good, a lot is way better.
We just touched on that a minute ago.
Right. So, yeah. so, like, do I buy 1,000 of those for my garden, or how many? How
I'm going
many
to seed
plants do
my
I need?
yard in this
Yes.
anti-mosquito repellent.
I'm going to have
plants.
a yard full of marigolds.
Well, that's personal preference, Chris. I just,
Well, how much to get the job done is what I'm.
Yeah.
I don't want to Clark
like,
Griswold this.
do you
so-
want the whole patio like mosquito free? Is that what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
wanting?
in my
Absolutely.
garden, like I'll
Absolutely.
put
Right.
tomatoes.
Well,
Surround the patio.
yeah, a nice
Okay.
border of assorted
border.
things. So,
Okay.
you can do mint,
oh, mint as well.
mint, anything that smells. Mint, citronella,
I smell.
marigolds.
Why do they? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you smell.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
a different
I guess
smell.
maybe they're I don't know. What am I don't know
Flowery,
what I'm talking about.
herby smells.
Pungent.
Pungent smells.
Not,
Yeah.
Not human.
Yeah.
Because
No, because you smell good. That's why they come around.
Yeah.
it's the product.
They like the
The product.
So anyway, we love things that work. Hey, I have one more really cool like demonstration. It's kind
Thanks, Beth. Beth's
What's Beth got
Giving you
going?
the thumbs up.
testifying.
Yep.
Testifying.
Yes.
You got.
So I got one more thing. It's kind of like, I don't know.
It's a big deal.
It is a big
Looks like
deal.
It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
All right, we love breaking big deals. right here.
Amazingness, but we got to redo. We got to
I was gonna
refix.
say, I don't see anything else in this box.
Yep. So
do
let's
I need
put
to
the
get up? There you
put the goodies back in the box, and
Put your-
there's some scissors in there. I'll need those.
See that?
Oh.
See, this is
You
how
use the tools,
this is how
doctor,
intense
doctor.
it's going to be,
It's a
right?
Demonstration.
Yes. I mean, this.
Okay.
We're about to go man show right here.
Is this for the rat tail that I'm working on?
I don't think that you want me to do that. You know, I cut my husband's hair once before he was my husband, and he still married me.
Never again.
I think his grandmother was offended because she was a hairstylist.
Oh well, yeah. There you
That's
go.
funny.
But anyway,
funny. What do you
so
need?
yeah, I got Big
Oh,
Bertha
down
over
here.
there on the floor.
I'm coming. I'm coming, Bertha.
Alrighty.
Boom.
Good thing I'm not important for this shot. Okay, check it out. So for Mother's Day or May, another big ticket item that everybody loves is their hanging basket, right? We have a really awesome assortment of hanging baskets this year at the Outpost. I'm tickled with them. We have your standard to petunia baskets, which is like this one. This is all petunias in the red stripe. We have mixed
Really cool
baskets.
looking. It almost doesn't look real.
We have splashed baskets. We have tricolored
Beautiful.
baskets. They're just really neat. You have to come see them. I mean, without having pictures and stuff. But I wanted everybody to feel comfortable with their basket and how you are in charge as the gardener. Okay, never
Sound like Bob Ross.
never feel
It's your basket.
It is never feel intimidated by
happy
your
accident.
basket. Okay,
right.
so
Happy little bush over here.
this basket is maybe one of the first ones that I brought
No,
into
I
the
got
store.
petunias in my cup.
Sorry,
No, you're good.
and
I mean, you've been putting floral and stuff down there. There's
They have lavender
There's
and
lavender in the
rose.
coffee. I know. I
yeah,
had honey
not for
lavender.
me, but
It
some
was-
people love it.
so this basket is
That's right.
what you call like grandma might call it a little long in the tooth,
Ah, I
right?
see that.
So it needs some extra care, and we
Little
do
gangly,
we do our
like my
best to
hair.
keep them done up well. And I know this was really tiny, and maybe here in a minute we can focus on this. But these are the sepals that are left over after
It
it
blossoms.
blossoms, right?
Okay.
And sometimes there will be a little seed that forms in here. You don't want these on your hanging basket because that tells the petunia it's time to
That's
die.
where a flower was, and the
Yeah.
flower dropped off.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If
So-
I'm seeding, I'm dying.
That's
how,
right.
yeah,
So
okay.
see that shape? You see lots of them all over
Right,
the
okay.
basket.
Yep. So,
So-
here you can see the little hole there where
Yes.
So that goes.
Yep. So every few weeks or every 2 weeks, it's kind of how long, every often you can stand it. Just like your young boys at home or Chris,
Cut them off when they're ready to die.
Cut
No,
them. No.
cut them off so they're not gonna die.
That's
Okay.
right. Cut them off so you got to get out. And sometimes you got to do a really good job of it. So like in the case of this basket,
Oh,
getting
whoa,
after it.
whoa,
Wow.
whoa!
check it out.
See, we're losing all
Whoa.
the pretty
We
parts
are
now.
losing some pretty parts, but look at all of the dying parts
Oh, yeah,
that we're
yeah,
losing.
yeah, you're right.
Okay. So now, are you going to want to buy this basket on Mother's Day?
No.
I hope so. Because
Well, on Mother's Day, I
because
guess
in
it'll be
2
ready.
weeks this will be ready
It'll be
again.
beautiful again.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all those beautiful flowers you're cutting off.
Well, you got to take it into account. How many
Right,
of these are you
right,
seeing?
yeah.
And it's all
More's coming.
It's all gangly
This
too.
is the first time I think we've ever had practical advice on the waffle.
Okay, so it's
my,
all-
my pastor brain is just all kinds of gardening analogies going
Yeah,
on
I'll
right
bet.
now.
I'll
I
bet,
mean,
yeah.
just
I mean, you should do
think
more.
of the
You
life.
should do more of this from the
the
pulpit.
life that is about to come
Get
out of
rid
this.
of the dead parts of
Yep.
your life
There you go.
It's not like
so that you can
it's not like
blossom.
Jesus didn't talk about this in John 15.
No.
Hey, Jesus
Hebrews
is
6 is another
he's
great
all
example.
over the gardening and the farming and
Cut
the,
it off, throw it into the fire. That doesn't mean hell. That means new growth is coming.
see, check that out. Now it looks a little bland, but doesn't it look better? It's just like a young
already
man who
looking
got a haircut.
I get it. I'm
and
going
it's in
tomorrow.
a better
I get
shape.
it. I get
Are
it.
you
Right?
really?
Well, just a little trim
Just
back
a
here
little
on the
trim?
rat tail.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want better shape for our basket, and when that comes back, now word to the wise, okay? If you're having company on Saturday, don't do this on Tuesday,
Right?
okay?
Yeah.
If you're having a 4th of July party, then
Do it
you
on
want
July 5.
You want to do it on July 5, or you want to do it like at least 2 weeks before.
2 weeks. Okay, that was my
You
next
know?
question. 2 weeks.
I mean, it kind of depends
It's
on the
gonna look
weather,
beautiful again.
you know. But yeah, it'll come back out. You can cut it down to like 50% of the basket.
wow. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can see the difference.
This is bothering me.
Lauren
Get
is
this-
now
yeah,
a
it's
viewer
all
and
built-in.
laughing at us, by the way.
Laughing at us. She's just wishing
We
she
got
was
3
here.
little laughy
So do you need
emojis
to be
from
careful?
Lauren.
So you just cut that leaf.
Well,
I'll just pinch that off.
yeah.
You know?
Sometimes it's a little less than the bushwhacking, but I thought that you all would appreciate the showmanship.
Be aggressive.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very,
So
yeah, it's kind of that.
Just getting
Now-
out.
One of those barbers that really does it for show.
until then, until you get to the point where you are really giving in the case of petunias, your petunia basket a real big whack, then by all means, for therapy, go out each morning and pull this off like this.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a little daily maintenance.
Daily
yeah.
maintenance versus a full-on haircut.
Because it'll
Gotcha.
send on more.
Right.
Okay?
sense.
Now that's a lot different than just pulling this off. Okay? So you got this whole piece versus this piece. Because when you just pull this piece,
So, and that's you're
it
taking off.
it leaves this.
Because I mean, us amateurs, we were like, we'll get rid of the dead part, keep the stuff that
keep
looks
the green,
healthy. Yeah,
right?
But no, you
but
want the
when
whole
you
thing.
leave this, it's going to start forming that seed. So don't just pull this off. Snip it off right like this.
Brilliant.
Yep. Thank
You know, and do them as they go. And then when it gets serious, get a haircut.
Nice.
Now, don't put it out in the hot, hot sun when you give it a haircut.
So
You know,
it's vulnerable now.
a little bit, you know. Pull it back.
If it's 100 degrees and no moisture in the air, this could be bad.
Pull it back under the eave of the porch where it's in a little calmer position. You know, it's not making flowers. It's going to have to recover a little bit. You know?
You know, just had surgery.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
and
it
so
easy.
with that being said, I think another, as a novice who's trying to get into this, I tend to also want to overwater. Some plants need
Ooh.
tons of water,
Mercy.
and some don't. Right?
Saying hi.
That's right. Okay, let me do a Lauren here and get back in the chair.
Yeah. Good luck. Be careful.
Okay. Overwatering. So let's talk about your natives.
Everybody got overwatered this weekend.
Yes.
A little bit,
I
but
am
natives-
overwatered.
Amen.
I have a dear friend. I don't know if she'll watch this or not because I'll tell her I did it and she'll laugh at herself. But for years, I've been working in her garden and I don't know how many native butterfly weeds she has drowned. Because she just wants to love it
Yeah.
Yep.
so much and she wants it to survive and she would take it just a little water every day.
Like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah. It's dead.
George or a Tommy Boy.
And
with
it's
the-
dead.
with
Yeah. Tommy boy.
So you want to not overwater your natives, okay? Remember, they like it here. They're used to a little drought. Do you want them to cook before they get established? No. Your hanging baskets, water them when they're dry,
Okay.
right before they wilt. In July, that's every morning, okay? Water early in the morning. That's the best time to water anything because as the sun comes up and the heat rises, then all that dries off. And when it dries off, then you have less fungus and less mold growing and taking over in your garden. You could also do it late in the evening because it's cooler, right? And things aren't going to get scalded. But the difference is then that moisture can kind of sit there overnight and it might cause problems. So early morning is always best.
What
good to
about
know.
so there are some plants that need to be watered rather morning and evening, or typically just morning and
Usually just once a day at most.
okay.
You know,
Okay.
I mean, we get into those hundreds and stuff. It's going to depend on if it's a thirsty plant.
Right. Okay. So pay attention. The
yeah.
the signs of wilting and that sort of thing are going to
That's
be
right.
your guide.
So the good news is plants, I mean, they're kind of resilient like humans. You can make a mistake or two and they'll talk. I wish they talked, but they do communicate with us, right? You're going to notice your problem and you're probably going to get a second chance, but you're probably going to not get 5 or 6 chances if
Well,
you're getting it
the
wrong.
2 tomato plants I put in last week, I put them in the ground. I should have put them in. I bought them. Actually, no, a friend gave them to me, and I didn't put them in that day. So I put them in the ground the next day, thinking it was going to rain that night, and it didn't. And I woke up in the morning, and they were just like, just
Right.
completely falling
So
over. But all this rain we've got,
Yeah.
they're doing great.
Well, and something else that they might have been struggling with just a little bit is just the change of the environment.
Right.
So like
A lot of stress was put on
We
them.
have had our tomatoes and cucumbers inside the garden outpost. If you've been by, you might have noticed before yesterday that it didn't look like we had anything. Well, it's not that we didn't have anything. It's that we were very much
Protecting them.
protecting
Yeah.
what works here because we had lots of wind and driving rain. And the one, was it 2 weekends ago, the cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've just been being really careful. Yesterday, we had to get the tomatoes out. We were out of space. And they looked a little but it was like open air and in the sunshine for the first time. And I'm pretty sure this morning that they're all standing snazzy.
Now, you said something, actually, I remembered you saying this when you were on here, I don't know, a long time ago, but you were talking about like buying local and what you get here and that versus like if you go to one of the other bigger stores, sometimes they're bringing in the plants, have trucked them in
That's
from
right.
a different environment, different locale, and there are issues with that. Could you refresh my recollection
Okay, so
on what that was?
larger entities purchase from larger growing entities that come from ginormous farms that are not located in Missouri.
Right.
Okay, there's just no huge-ish wholesale gardening stuff in Missouri. They're coming from warmer climates because they can grow that stuff earlier. I mean, it's been warm in Texas. The gardening season in Texas has been going gangbusters for weeks.
Right.
And they want to bring it in on a truck, and at a bigger store, they want it to look amazing. Okay?
Makes sense.
Because if you see it and it's pretty, you're going to take it home. I do my best with that,
Sure,
right?
of course.
I want my hanging baskets to be full of color because I want you to be able to give it to your mom and it be full of color. You know, sometimes the marigolds are taking a break. And people are like, well, your marigolds look terrible. And I'm like, well, they're fine.
They're
just-
resting.
They're not blooming.
Look at the green leaves.
Yeah,
right?
there's
they're
just-
healthy.
Just resting.
So there is a difference there. They buy it from those companies because they get economy of scale, right? So they're going to be able to get each piece cheaper. It's going to seem cheaper at those big box store garden centers. Is the little guy that's making, what's he making now? $15 an hour to water at the big box store. Does he know anything about horticulture? Maybe, maybe not.
Probably not.
Does he have 20 million other things to do? Probably, you know. So quality can be called into question, you know. So that's what we really try to focus on is staying within the state to get stuff that has been grown because I know it's going to work here generally unless we just get fancy things. And it's growing on our timeline. You know, it's not coming from Texas up here and then we have one of those Hail Mary frost weekends. You know, those things do not do well with that.
Well, and I'll just say what Emma won't say: shop local.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Box Store, he ain't doing anything for Rogersville. So
Right. Yeah, it's like it's just like Home Depot's not sponsoring your soccer team.
nope,
you
they're
know,
not.
or
They're not at all. So yeah,
Wildcat Closet and all the things that our local people do, we give back to the community.
absolutely. You're going to get a better product, and you're loving your community, and you
Local
also don't have to
expertise.
drive, the extra miles to get it.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
means more and more all the time.
And you're not going to get this kind of advice from
Right.
Mr. Box Store
Yep.
as well. So
Emma, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having
Always
me.
A pleasure to have you
So
on here.
Love it.
Informative, and usually there's nothing worthwhile on the show. It's just nonsense.
Right.
But we have Emma here, and you get practical advice.
keep doing that. We won't be able to call it a waffle
I know.
anymore. It'll be like
this is important stuff.
is
You need to
important
watch. You should
information.
watch- you
This
should
is
actually
news.
watch
This
the
is
show.
real news.
I know we can't do that.
no,
So your time will be limited, Emma, in order to maintain the purity of our show. You can't keep bringing the serious-
experts in here.
maybe that'll keep me in high demand.
There you go.
Maybe so.
Oh, hey, the Garden Outpost is open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 because somebody has to water the plants. And keep an eye out for special Mother's Day hours on that Mother's Day Sunday morning.
in the
Don't-
Apple Market.
I was getting ready to say,
parking
don't
lot,
assume they know where you are.
Right
Yep.
here in Rogersville, in the Apple Market parking lot. Be sure to stop by, check it out. You can come by multiple times. You can stop in, look, leave, come back, buy some more.
We love
Get
repeat
home,
offenders.
Come back, do all
Beautiful.
that stuff. But anyway, all right, keep
Okay.
watching. Join us
Okay.
next week, Tuesday morning, Morning Waffle.
Beautiful.
Bye.